You see, I always try to be careful with the things that I say about each company. I don't want to be the guy that says, oh, Pepsi is for dummies, and then the person that I'm speaking to only drinks Pepsi. That is just embarrassing on my end, and it is a trauma that was generated to me because someday I offended horribly a really good friend of mine. I was making a stream just speaking about life, having some fun. At this time, I was a really small streamer. I had like 10, 15 people watching me, and I started speaking bad about clowns and how scary they were, how much I hated clowns. And then this girl that was one of my most avid fans just said, my dad works as a clown. All those 3 minutes that I was speaking shite about clowns, it was just me getting on the inside of the mouth of a wolf. And yeah, it was so embarrassing, and after that I said I gotta be careful with everything I say. Nonetheless, I'm gonna hit you with the cold water here. Funko Pops are shite. That's right, I said it. I know, daring today, aren't we? If you were standing up, I'm sure you now gotta sit down. But anyway, I think we all know Funko Pops, those little figurines with gigantic heads and teeny tiny bodies. You can find these Funko Pops in every single IP you want. You want Star Wars, you got it. You want Stranger Things, you got it. You want Pokemon, you definitely can get it. And you know, I am exaggerating a little bit. They're not shite, I don't hate them. I think they're a good idea in principle, but they did do a lot of Funko Pops. And when I say a lot, I mean they really did the Chester the Cheetah figurines. So yeah, I mean you know it was getting crazy. But funny enough, maybe in 2018, I remember buying like this Shingeki no Kyojin Attack on Titan figurine of the Beast Titan, and I was telling my father like, no, trust me that this is an investment. It's going to be worth thousands of Mexican pesos in a few years. And that was absolutely not the case. But this is the reason that I'm speaking about Funko Pops. Funko makes shocking announcement about the pop culture company's future. As Christmas approaches, shelves in toy aisles and in online collector stores seem to have even more Funko items than usual. That may not be the case for much longer, as the company's recent financial reporting has revealed mounting debts, steep declines in profits, and dire warning to investors that they may not be around in another year if things don't change rapidly. So Funko Pop developed collectors company is in big trouble. And of course, one of the many reasons as to why is that they were overflowing the market with Funko Pops. Every single thing, even your grandma had a Funko Pop made of her. They mass produced so many characters of so many IPs that people just didn't bother buying Funko Pops anymore. Because like I said, I don't think Funko Pops are a bad idea in principle. Like I still do have some few Funko Pops that I like. Like my girlfriend gave me a Pikachu Funko Pop, a Killua from Hunter x Hunter Funko Pop, and I love that. I think having like a little figurine that people can collect of their favorite IPs, it's a wonderful thing. But I'm gonna give you an example of what I'm referring to. Back in the day, I remember that they announced like the first 3 Pokemon Funko Pops, and I was like, okay, I'm going to buy the first 3. But then very rapidly they're starting pulling out more and more and more, and I was at some point like, you know what, I don't even care anymore. I think they were producing way too much, you know, having like 3 figurines of each IP is a good idea, maybe even 5. Special shiny editions? Why not? I like that too. But I think that Funko Pop definitely has to change their approach here, and instead of making 100 characters of each single IP that exists, they should probably focus on fewer characters of fewer IPs. That way, sure, you're going to sell less in the sense that there are many products to actually sell, but people like me that lost all interest in Funko Pops would be drawn into it again because it wouldn't be that much characters, you know. I don't want to have a room filled with Funko Pops. Maybe I just want to have 1 or 2. And I think that's the thing. I think Funko Pop has started being less cool in pop culture. You see these Funko Pop addicts that have like a wall full of Funko Pops, and if you're one of those people, don't worry, it's fine. Like, it doesn't matter. And sorry, but I don't want to be that guy. I know that I have a horrible background, but I still have a little bit of good taste. Don't get me wrong, Funkos are usually very cool, are very pretty. Having more than 10, I think it's a little bit like, come on, man. In quarter 2, Funko lost a massive, you know, a ninja reference, 41 million. In the new quarter 3 figures, losses were just under 1 million. This may have been a massive improvement over the previous 3 months, but it's still devastating compared to the 8.9 million profit in the same quarter in 2024. This loss comes as a result of a year-on-year decline in profits, almost all of which came from the US markets. Previously, it was reported that the company had renegotiated terms on several outstanding loans following the devastating losses earlier in this year, but now it looks like even those terms may not be met. The company described a challenging retail environment where retailers have slowed their restocking, prioritized lower inventory levels, and in some cases have cancelled their orders. You know, this makes me think that the world is healing because it felt like the United States was very like, let's pull out 100 products and 100 more products and 1,000 copies of each product, and they wanted to hypersell everything. And these company owners for some reason think that they will just continue growing forever and ever. And also I do believe a little bit that Funko Pops are also a thing of the past in a way. You know, we're going to see to the 2010s and 2020s like something very particular of that era and very representative of it is the Funko Pops, and it's going to be like a nostalgia type of item. Maybe I'm wrong, we gotta see how they continue developing the brand. I remember that they tried to innovate by making like a Funko Pop game, which was an absolute failure. Nobody would have ever liked that game anyway. It looked so bland, so generic. Along with the challenges of tariffs and such matters, Funko's excessive range of licensed IPs from Marvel and DC to Muppets and Stranger Things, there are very few franchises and genres that Funko has not thrown a lot of money into. It seems people are either no longer looking to spend money on dozens of new releases that come frequently. Yeah, 100%, I agree. Like, yeah, you just want to keep selling 10 Funko Pops a week. Like, that's just not going to work for a long time. Like, I'm sorry for being mean, but I really don't want the Funko Pop at Icons McDonald's drink cup. Am I crazy for saying this? Be for real. Like, seriously, what is this? Meal Squad cup? I don't care. However, the company is not about to simply give up. We'll love to see that. We'll love to see companies not giving up. We delivered a solid 2025 third quarter performance with net sales in line with internal expectations and gross margin and bottom line profitably well ahead of expectations. I'm only 66 into the role, but it's already clear how powerful the Funko brand is and how much growth opportunity lies ahead. Our make culture pop strategy is all about being at the center of the moments everyone is talking about, beginning with the lightning fast launches like K-pop Demon Hunters, where we'll be one of the only licensees on shelves this holiday season. I actually don't hate this plan, I kinda like it, says the businessman that is literally poor. No, but it goes in line with what I'm saying. I think they should focus on way less products, and of course the company is going to have to shrink quite a lot, but I think it's worth it because it will be able to stay for way longer and be sustainable. So for instance, back in July you had the brain rot craze with the Tung 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 Sahur and Ballerina Cappuccina. Well, this is just an example because those characters I think you cannot really commercialize with them if you're a big company. I don't know if they're trade market, I don't know if they're free for everyone to use, I don't know. But what I mean and what they're trying to do is definitely capitalize on those moments with like the same with K-pop Demon Hunters. It was huge, well, we're gonna go after that. And also to that plan, I would add just getting rid of some IPs like Marvel, who cares? Well, actually, I'm just hating on it. I don't know if Marvel is selling a lot of Funko Pops. But yeah, get rid of the McDonald's Squad Cup, please. Like, we don't need this. Get rid of this. Be serious, please. And honestly, just stick to the biggest franchises that sell the most merchandise. So for instance, Pokemon, I mean, sure, Marvel, I don't know. Maybe some partnerships with some YouTubers, I don't know, do the Mr. Beast Funko Pop. Well, actually not, because that could be very polemic. Like, imagine you just partner with TikToker number 3 and then he just does something wrong and you just gotta delete the Funko Pop. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. But pick 10 franchises and then start adding the huge things like K-pop Demon Hunters. Also just of some music bands, just be like, they probably have Funko Pops of 100 bands. Just pick the ones that sell the most. Metallica, Oasis, something like that. Just literally, if you have 100 IPs, just be like, we're gonna cut the half that sells less. That's it. Because they do have a lot of franchises and most people don't care that much about all of those franchises. I guess anime Funko Pops really do sell well, but I would argue if you are like a fan of anime, you would rather not have like a Funko Pop and rather buy like another type of figurine. So definitely do cut some animes that you are seeing that are not selling incredible. I don't know, I just found this very interesting, like how such a big company can start having major losses because of the way they manage it and the way they try to hyper produce a million different things. Every company should understand you cannot grow infinitely. At some point, you just gotta be happy with what you have. Anyway, that's about it. See ya.